All right, welcome to the RAMcast, where we talk about all things related to the Sioux Valley. This is your host, Brian Kirby, and co-host for the first time on his co-host role, Jimmy Sickler.
Yes, thank you for my elevated role, Mr. Kirby. Happy to be here as always.
All right, our hope is that this develops into something that everyone who is part of the Sioux Valley community will enjoy. Without further ado, we're going to get the show rolling. All right, we got a couple updates this time, some changes. We're going to have a little senior spotlight with Henry a little bit later. We're going to start with some education things. So, number of field trips coming up. Forensics class is going into Anchorage to a crime lab to do a little hands-on work.
Very cool.
Animal science class, they're going to head to the reindeer farm down in Palmer for the day to see what's going on in the real world of animal science.
Nice.
We are about 12 days left for our seniors. Does that sound about right, Henry?
Sounds perfect. I heard 13 this morning. So.
Okay. Well, some people might skip a day yet. Who knows? And that puts us about 22 roughly for everyone else. Progress reports can be available on Parent View later this week. And that's kind of all the big education stuff. So let's let Jimmy go with some sports.
Yes, so we have high school track season that's underway. We started with about 50 athletes in high school track, and we're moving right along. We have the regional track meet that is always hosted at Susitna Valley, May 17th and 18th. Also, on April 15th, we just started middle school track and just checked with the coaches, and we have 42 kids signed up for middle school track. So really high numbers, good participation in high school track and middle school track. So that's all we got for sports right now.
The best thing that the track is actually clear right now.
Yes.
So they are on it.
Amazing.
And not running on the bike path. All right. So new thing I'm going to try here. A little senior spotlight. First one is going to be Henry.
Good one.
So, Henry, we got 10 grueling questions for you.
I'm ready for them.
This can shape your life.
Okay.
All right. What song will always remind you of your time in this school?
I'd have to say the song Cowboys Don't Cry by Oliver Tree, because Luther Stankiewicz used to fall asleep on the bus with it repeating, and it would just 8-hour trips drowning my memories and all my thoughts.
All right, I like it. Which teacher had the most impact on you, and what will you remember the most about them?
I'd have to say that the teacher that had the most impact on me is probably yours truly, Mr. Brian Kirby, because I spent the most time in his rooms. And what I will remember most about Kirby is a good lesson he taught me about steel toes. Can't share the lesson, but it was a good lesson. It was a solid lesson about steel toes and why you should always wear them.
I'm sure it was very well done.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and then what was your favorite extracurricular activity and why?
My favorite extracurricular activity is probably basketball first.
So.
Easy choice first. Just what I spent the most time doing, and my biggest love from high school.
Perfect. And then what impact did COVID-19 pandemic have on you and your high school experience?
Well, COVID took us out in 8th grade at spring break, and I didn't come back to school until probably halfway through the year, freshman year. And the first class I ever stepped into was a welding class with Mr. Kirby over here.
Perfect.
And
that set his high school career for success.
Yes.
Yeah, it really locked me in day one. I'm probably going to start on a Kirby class and end in the shop room, although it's not Kirby anymore. But it really kind of made everything... It was weird because of basketball and, like, masks at first. And, like, I was also younger, so I didn't know, like, everything was... I was much more mature. All we did was cry about the masks, and we didn't really think about anything that was, like, important. So I don't know how it really affected it, like... actually the learning process, but it affected me in a way of it probably made me mature a little bit quicker and had much less people as well in our school, so there's like less of everything.
Yep, good.
Awesome. So I know you touched on shop a few times, but what was your most enjoyable class that you've had?
Oh, my most enjoyable class, I would have to say, was probably my sophomore year welding class with all the boys, Bryson, Weston, we always got Tristan in there. We always got Colton and the older boys in there. It was a good time back in those days. Alden, CJ, just some names,
Lots of name dropping.
Tossing out some old names.
Lots of names there.
Yeah, that was a pretty good year. That was the year we made a chair out of scraps that Kirby did not approve, or a sword. And we made that sword. Kirby didn't like the sword either. There's a lot. We built a lot of stuff that year that we weren't supposed to, but that was why I remember it the most. It was the best year.
It was good. It was a good year. Those good group of guys. So your senior year, who do you have the most meaningful relationship with?
My most meaningful relationships this year would probably have to be with my basketball coach, Mr. Sanford, just because, all the mentoring and all the time we spent together, and then a lot of my teammates as well. My brother, who's on my team, who I spent a lot of time with, getting rides to practices and being stuck waiting at the Sheep Creek Lodge with. And a lot of my teachers as well have helped me get through a lot of stuff this year that I've been trying to figure out and handle and work on. And it's like a lot of my teachers have had very important parts of my life in the last 8-9 months that we've been coming to school.
Good. What was the most surprising thing you learned about yourself during your time in high school here at Sioux Valley?
The most surprising thing I learned about myself at Sioux Valley was probably that, about myself. I'd definitely say that I learned that I don't have to know everything, and that it's okay to learn stuff.
Yep.
Because at the beginning I felt like not knowing stuff was like people were trying to take jabs at me and almost make fun of me, but I realized as I got older that sometimes people are just trying to help you, and you can be accepting of help. You don't have to be embarrassed.
It's a good life lesson right there.
Yeah, nice job. Knowing what you know now, what advice would you give young Henry entering Sioux Valley for the first time?
Oh, young Henry. I'd probably have to tell him not be so worried about everything. Just not so stressed out about everything that was going down, and maybe just sit back and watch things happen a little bit more and not have so much FOMO. Fear of missing out, and maybe just take it a little bit slower, because now that the end's coming, I feel like trying to fit everything in almost made it go faster.
Yep.
Just sit back, watch how it went down, and have a little bit more fun and a little less stress.
Enjoy the ride.
Yeah, exactly.
So assuming you're going to graduate, what does graduating high school mean to you?
Graduating high school will mean a lot to me because I just think that a lot of people didn't think I was gonna actually end up graduating. I came into high school with a friend group of people who I don't think a single one of them's left here, and probably half of them went the GED route or the just dropping out route. And so I think I was pinned in a group of people who definitely didn't have the best chances of graduating. So making it all the way to graduation and changing as much as I have definitely means a lot to me in a kind of I got you guys, proved you wrong, graduated.
Nice. So last question. May 15th is the big day. What's your plan after that, except for sleeping in?
I was going to say, next day I probably will be sleeping in or sleeping through. And then the day after that, go to work.
Going to work.
Go to work, get a job, and then at the end of the summer I plan to move to Maui, North Shore, get a job there and start living there.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate that insight. That's good.
Yep. Thank you, Henry.
Thank you guys for having me on.
Yeah. So we're going to finish up with just the last couple things we usually do. PTSA is always looking for members. They've got a meeting coming up tomorrow at 3:15. There's a Zoom option. State testing's done. The Play Little Women is this Saturday. It starts at 6. Doors open at 5:30. And like we said earlier, graduation is May 15th, 7 o'clock at the Sioux Valley Gym. So with that, this concludes our episode. Thanks for listening. Again, this is Mr. Kirby, principal here at Sioux Valley.
And this is Jimmy Sickler.
All right, and with our guest, Henry. We hope you enjoyed this podcast, another way to connect with our community, and hope to see you at the next school event or around in the community.